Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Brain and Spine Foundation's webinar. And today we're going to be discussing preparing for medical appointments. As we've discovered with lots of our callers, the neuro conditions and neuro symptoms can be very complex. We have over 600 neurological conditions and only one nervous system. So it can be very challenging for a neurologist, GP, and ourselves to work out what's going on with our bodies. So it's very important that we're prepared for these appointments and detailed, concise, and short, setting up for and preparing for the appointment. Because, as you know, there's probably only 10 minutes for that appointment. So we really do need to express what's going on with our bodies within 2 minutes and keep it very clear and concise, and removing the emotion that we're all feeling when we attend these appointments. So I think if you're well prepared, that can help control our emotions and keep us focused on what's going on. And that helps the clinician to recognize your symptoms alongside perhaps scans and other things that are going on. So that's what this is all about today. So the Brain and Spine Foundation, our mission is to transform the daily reality of each person affected by a neurological condition anywhere in the UK through our professional frontline services, initiatives, research, and bold campaigning for change. We hope to build a society that's affected by neurological conditions to be recognised, respected. The aim of the presentation is to help you, carers, healthcare professionals affected by neurological conditions to feel more confident and prepared when attending medical appointments. So a neurological condition, firstly, is a condition that affects the nervous system, which is the brain, the spinal cord, and peripheral nerves. These can affect how we think, behave, and our daily activities. Some of the people that you're going to meet on your journey will be a neurologist, and a neurologist diagnoses and treats brain and nerve conditions, for example, stroke, epilepsy, and MS. He does not perform surgery. A neurosurgeon is a specialist in brain and spinal surgery, and you meet them when surgery is a consideration. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have surgery, so don't have any anxiety about that. An interventional neuroradiologist, performs minimally invasive treatments via the vascular system. That may be coiling an aneurysm, performing stents. They will discuss the risks and benefits of the treatment with you, and other neurologists interpret the scans. You don't usually meet a neuro radiologist, but on some occasions you do if you require the treatment. A clinical nurse specialist is referred to as a CNS, and often your main point of contact for information, guidance, and support after diagnosis. Sometimes they're there at your pre-admission and can also help you with your pre-admission into hospital. Not every hospital has a CNS, unfortunately. A psychologist and a counsellor helps with the emotional well-being, and you can ask for a referral either via your GP at any stage. Making appointments, as we know, can be very challenging. We usually phone the practice at a certain time, early in the morning usually, to try and get an appointment that day. You can use e-consult in some occasion, which is via their website. So an e-consult is where you can send an email type message to the practice, and a GP will triage through those messages and call you within 24 hours. There's also the NHS app. Hospital appointments are usually arranged automatically after a GP or hospital referral. If you haven't heard anything, you can contact your GP to ensure that the referral has gone through. You can also phone either the CNS if that's been given to you, the contact, or the hospital secretary, the consultant secretary, and the secretary can be contacted via the switchboard. Appointments are usually by phone, face-to-face, or online video. Many people with neurological symptoms find it helpful to give a brief summary of their health history and symptoms to the GP or clinician, and this can help us to stay focused during the appointment. We've built up a lot of emotion. We may have had symptoms for a very long time. We may have already seen a GP or a clinician and felt we've not been heard or been told it's anxiety and turned away. So we start to lose our confidence in going back. But it's important for you to stay focused and remove that emotion in these appointments and give the facts. And I usually try and use the analogy that of a car and a car mechanic. So when you take your car into the car mechanic, you're not going to say, I think it's the exhaust, and the car mechanic spends 20 minutes looking at the exhaust, and it's not that at all. So you want to take the car into the car mechanic and say, it makes this noise, these lights come on, this happens when I do this. The facts. And so we're basically doing the same with our bodies when we're seeing a clinician. A body map, it can be quite helpful. We found this a useful tool. And if you don't want to go into the depths of an actual body map to this degree, you can just draw a matchstick man down the center of a piece of paper and imagine you're in an MRI scan or a CT scanner and going down the body from head to toe, inch by inch, write a symptom next to that part of the body. For example, headache or migraine, blurred vision, tinnitus, swallowing problems, speech problems. That's just there to ensure that you don't forget the symptoms. It's very easy for us to forget to name all of our symptoms that are going on, but the clinician does need to see a full picture. So going from head to toe, just one or two words is there as a reminder to you to mention those symptoms that you're having. Keeping a diary is very important. That could be a headache diary. So on our website, in our headache booklet, there is a headache diary available to you. And you can develop your own, and it may be symptoms concerning your legs or your upper body, your bowels, for example. The Bristol Stool diary, the Bristol Stool scale can help the clinician understand what kind of stool you're having, the color, etc. Because the bowels and bladder can be affected by neurological conditions as well. So keeping a bladder diary, a bowel diary, a headache diary, etc. is really important. It doesn't have to be realms of text, just a couple of bullet points. Family medical history is extremely important. That includes children. So, if any family members have any heart disease, diabetes, or neurological conditions themselves, there can be a family history of aneurysms, there can be a family history of headaches, migraines, and so on. So it's very important, including things that may not be a neurological concern. That's not up to us to decide whether that's important to the neurologist or GP. For example, a bowel condition. It's important to document things like that. Your personal medical history. So that includes not just any diagnosis like diabetes, heart disease, and the like, but past illnesses, operations you may have had, hospital admissions you may have had and why, and other conditions. It's important to have a list of your medications as well. The more complex we are, especially in the neuro world, it's very difficult for the clinicians to see everything all at once to get a picture of you. So although a lot of people think that will be in my notes, that will be on the computer system, it's still helpful for them to have a list of up-to-date medications that you're on and doses, because not everyone communicates, as some of you may know. GPs and hospitals and medications change in between, and they may not be up to date. Noting your allergies, not just to medications, but also to food and your environmental allergies. Anything unusual about your body, anything that can't go in those lists. For example, hypermobility, double jointed, skin rashes, fainting episodes, and the like. Anything that's just not quite on the list of past medical history or diagnoses, but something that's relevant to you. And how's this impacted on your daily life, your hobbies, your work, your relationships? How were you before all of this happened? It's important for the clinician to have a picture of you, how energetic you were, fit you were, engaged and motivated you were, and how you are now and how it's affecting you. So our support at the Brain and Spine Foundation, we have our helpline with our neuro nurses. We're very privileged to have neuro nurses on our helpline to answer your calls. We have many peer support groups that you'll find on our website and vast amounts of health information, booklets, fact sheets, YouTube videos, and the like. And this is all to enable your well-being journey for us to all connect, create, and grow together. So the helpline offers a multitude right through the whole journey, from symptom management, diagnosis, post-diagnosis, and ongoing well-being. This is to help risk reduction, alert you to warning signs, red flags. For example, a lot of people with back pain or lumbar disc conditions don't understand or have never heard of cauda equina. And cauda equina can be a red flag that you need to go into A&E. So we highlight the red flags and what to look at, for example, any changes in bowel habits, bladder habits, sexual function is a red flag when it comes to lower back pain. We can also help you understand investigations and the language. We're not here to diagnose. We're not here to help you come to where is this taking me, but to understand the wording of the scans. For example, you may have a scan that says hyperintensities, and that can be really worrying. And the first thing people do is go to Google, and they Google hyperintensities, and the next thing they think they've got MS. But hyperintensities happen to us all throughout our life. They're almost like a scar, wear and tear. They can happen because of migraines, stress, headaches, all kinds of things can cause hyperintensities. So don't be alarmed by certain wording. So it's always good to call our helpline if you need help understanding your scan. And also a diagnosis. If you've had a new diagnosis and you don't understand Chiari malformation, for example, any diagnosis you've been given, we can help support you understand that, what treatment may be available, and also then after ongoing management to discuss the rehab. How can we help you manage your emotions? Your behavior may change, your temperament may change, your relationships may change, and we can support you with all of those. We're also here to support carers for that reason as well. It can be very isolating being a carer in the neuro community. And we have our neuro carers social group, which is very successful and very helpful. And we have outside speakers come in, helping with financial discussions and day-to-day managing and just support for each other and less isolated. We also support other family members and friends. We offer enhanced support. So some people may need longer than one call to the helpline, and we have many repeat callers, and we support those people ongoing. Our survey is very important to us, and we will always ask you to complete a survey after a call or an email. It's really important for us to ensure that you've been satisfied, that we're doing the right thing with you, and how we can improve our service. Our creative activity hub is as a well-being, mindfulness, distraction type therapy. It's a wonderful group where you can develop all kinds of creative activities. We share examples and materials on our website, and this is accessible to everyone, including carers and healthcare professionals. There's an online gallery space for sharing artwork too. So these are our contact details. Our helpline number is 0808 808 1000. And we're open Monday to Friday, 9 till 4. And we do look forward to hearing for you, and we do hope we can support you. Thank you all for attending today. I hope you found this helpful. I'm sure you'll have many questions which we're happy to answer.